Hello, everyone. Welcome again to Carolina Perspective. I'm Sheree Bernardi. Question, were you a scout? A Boy Scout, okay, but we're really interested in Girl Scouts. Were you a Girl Scout? Well, I was, and we're going to spend the next 30 minutes talking about Girl Scouts in South Carolina. My guests are Loretta Graham. She is the CEO of the Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina. Donna Lee is the communications manager for the local Girl Scouts. And we are expecting a guest, I guess, later on, Dr. Jan Crowe, who she has a business, a Creekside Veterinary Center in Goose Creek. And she was a longtime scout and still has a place in her heart in scouting today, and is also up for as a woman of distinction. We will learn all about that. But first of all, Loretta, welcome to the program. It's been a while since we've talked.
Yes, it has.
How is scouting going these days?
Wonderful, wonderful. First of all, I want to say Merry Christmas during this Christmas season to everyone.
Merry Christmas to
and
you.
Girl Scouting are continuing to build girls of courage, confidence, and character who we know that is going to make a community, a world, a better place.
Mm-hmm. So you're not turning out Miley Cyrus's.
No.
I'm just saying, when you look at the influences that are out there for young women today, you don't see a lot of positive role models.
Right. I want to talk a little bit about our founder, Juliet Gordon-Lowe. When she first started Girl Scouting back in 1912, she did something that was totally unheard of during her era, and that is to get those girls out from those isolated environments and the homes and get them out into the open air. Girls learned how to hike. They played basketball. They did a lot of things. Mm-hmm. She started that first Girl Scout troop of 18 girls in Savannah, Georgia, and we are 2.3 million girls strong now in the U.S.
It's really something how something like that has grown. And when you think of when it started, mm-hmm. when, attitudes about girls and, what girls were supposed to grow into, mm-hmm. it was not, let's go out, it was kind of, they were very homebound, yes, weren't they? It was like cooking, sewing, reading poetry, and learning how to play the piano.
That is absolutely right,
and
Sheree.
Nothing wrong with those things. However, there's so much more that a human being can experience.
You are absolutely right, and you hit the hammer on the nail. When people think of Girl Scouts, they think of cookies. Now, don't get me wrong. Cookies teach girls a lot of things like financial literacy,
business,
teamwork,
yes.
and business. But we are more than just cookies. We build girls instead of the 3 C's of crafts, camping, and cooking, mm-hmm. we build girls of courage, confidence, and character who will make the world a better place.
And that is so important because the world has changed, and it seems to be changing rapidly still. Mm-hmm. And when that happens, you've got to have the tools to adjust and to survive in it, don't you?
Absolutely. And these girls cannot do what they do without our wonderful, wonderful volunteers. These volunteers are working with these girls every day, mm-hmm. and they are teaching these girls not only to lead the world, they're giving these girls skills to actually change the world, to change the way people think. And in Girl Scouting, we have these 3 keys of leadership. And that is to discover who they are, connect with that community, and then take action to make the world a better place. Some of these projects that these girls are doing, I want to talk a little bit about the Gold Award project.
Oh, please.
Some of these projects that these girls are doing are outstanding. They are truly going out in the community and making the world a better place, doing service projects and spending 80 hours to complete these projects. That's girls
a lot of
doing
time.
An amazing job.
That's a lot of time. And I can go back to the 60s when I was a brownie. I won't tell you where in the 60s, but it was in there, that decade somewhere. And when it came to service, we were always aware of those in our community less fortunate, those in our community who needed a food basket once in a while. Mm-hmm. Or I guess back then that was the big effort, mm-hmm. especially during the holidays. It was providing food mm-hmm. for families that didn't have any or had very meager funds. Mm-hmm. And that was service oriented, and that was, way back when. But you make it sound like this has been ramped up a lot.
Absolutely. Sheree, I think of our promise, and it says, on my honor, I will try to serve God and my country, to help people at all times. I love that line, to help people at all times. And to live by the Girl Scout law.
And you still have God in the pledge.
Still
I
have
mean,
God
there are some that say there's a secular war on that kind of thing going on now, and I say don't bend.
That's right.
Don't bend.
That's what we were
Keep
founded
that in
on.
there.
After all, our money says, "In God we trust."
And who doesn't like that? Who doesn't like? Hey, my license plate says it. Okay. But so the Girl Scouts today. They're not isolated little groups who meet once a week. They're doing things.
That's correct. They are doing things. And as I said, the promise, it says to live by the Girl Scout law. In the Girl Scout law, we talk about helping people and being responsible for what we say and do, and to be a sister to every Girl Scout. So when they're doing these projects, they're looking in the community. There is one young lady that is a Gold Award candidate right now that's doing her project on human trafficking. There is another young lady.
My God, that is something that, let me just interrupt you. That is something that would never have, of course, when you're a brownie or even the next level up when you're a junior, you can't even comprehend that stuff.
That's correct.
But, where kids today learn much more about what's going on at a younger age.
That's correct.
And they're made aware of the injustices and the criminal actions and things like that. But the good thing is the Girl Scouts are trying to do something about it.
That's exactly right. And another young lady is doing her project on SAD, that's stress, anxiety, and depression, how to overcome it and what to do to make sure that, you're not so caught up in that. She is an amazing young lady out of Mount Pleasant, and we'll be hearing more about her as her project goes on. But these girls, again, have the power not only to lead the world, Sheree, but they have the power to truly change this world.
Yeah. Sounds like kind of a tall order for a young lady.
Yes.
But do they still have fun too?
They absolutely.
Because saving the world can really kind of be man, I'm a little whipped today. I'm a little tired.
Absolutely have fun. And that is one of the things that I say to them, that it's the only thing they have to do. And that is have fun. You have to have fun when you're doing your projects. You have to have fun when you join Girl Scouting. You just have to have fun. These are leaders that if you touch any successful woman on the shoulders, Sheree, whether she's a doctor, a lawyer, a community leader, whatever, 9 times out of 10, she's going to tell you she was involved in Girl Scouting. And I must ask the question, were you a Girl Scout, Sheree?
Yes. Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, yes. In fact, I should have done this when I was home. I was home for the Thanksgiving holiday, wanted to climb through all the clothes that are still crammed in closets at my parents' house. And fine, because I know my uniforms are still there. I know my brownie uniform. I know that my green junior Girl Scout uniform is there. And I would love to have that hat and the sash. In fact, that would have been so cool to wear that today as you all walked in. And
I must
oh my gosh, what is she doing?
I must ask the question,
Sheree.
How did you feel when you put the uniform on?
I loved scouting days. I loved the uniform because my father was military, and it was the one day when I got to wear a uniform like he had to wear a uniform. And I remember as he was in the mirror straightening his tie, I would be straightening my little tie or neckerchief, I forget what we had in, and I would say, and I remember distinctly saying, Daddy, we're both in uniforms today.
That's absolutely
right.
And
we both look dynamite.
I just wrote an article on putting on the uniform is more than just getting dressed. Mm-hmm. When you put on a Girl Scout uniform, there is so many things that it says. It says, you can ask me any question and I will help you.
Yeah.
You can ask me how to get across the street. There is so much. When you put on that uniform, You put on perfection. You put on I am available to help. There is it's like being out on a football field and seeing all of these true colors come out,
Yep.
working together, waiting to help someone. And that's what I think about when I think about our armed forces, our military.
More
When
uniforms.
they put on their uniforms. What do people think?
Yeah.
What you wear and how you look means a lot. It means a lot.
And couple that with what some people wear when they're not wearing the uniform. Not to be that critical of it, but I mean, you know what? We would never have worn what some are wearing to school. I was always told that the way you dress for school will dictate how you consider the rest of your day. You know, if you're too relaxed, too weekend in your dress,
That's correct.
then and this could be a Wednesday, you know, that when you're going through your classes and trying to learn your lessons, you're going to have a weekend mentality and you're not going to have a weekday school day mentality. But that's, you know, that may be too old school for some people to, you know, understand. But
the uniform really means a lot. And, you know, one of my mottos at work with all of my staff is how you look and how you smell will get you in the door. So you must be looking good and smelling good. And what you know will keep you there. So putting on the Girl Scout uniform will get you wherever you need to go. And what the Girl Scout teaches you will continue to help you with a successful life.
yeah. Tell me about, is it STEM?
Yeah, that's science, technology, engineering, and math.
Wow, that's
And
heavy. Are there
that
badges
is-
for that?
Yes, definitely. The girls are so into that nowadays, and some of the projects and things that they're doing with the robotics team and getting into this math, science, technology, and engineering. It is amazing, some of the things that they're doing. We are all over. The Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina serve 21 counties in the eastern part of South Carolina.
Man, that's a lot of territory to cover.
Right, and we have over 8,000 girls in this area. In the Tri-County area alone, we have over 3,000 Girl Scouts in this area, in the Tri-County area alone. So the STEM program is really teaching these girls a lot, and they are so involved in it. And you will find a lot of that in the schools. But we also have this wonderful program that's called BFF, and that is Be a Friend First. And that is talking about bullying and anti-bullying.
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
And we all know what that is doing right now to our children.
There are terrible stories out there,
Yes.
and I think they're more prevalent because you don't have to say it to somebody's face. It's social media is
That's right.
just being such a large part of this. It's sick.
And, you know, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. We sometimes are the only book that people read. And it's what adults do that kids tend to emulate. They tend to mark or do what adults do. And we, as adults, have to be very, very careful that we're not bullying each other and we're not saying awful things to each other.
Well,
because
we
the
have to be an
children are watching us.
example. You know, we have to be an example, and sometimes that's, you know, I guess you always have to be cognizant of who you are
Absolutely.
and what you're doing.
Absolutely. We certainly do. So we're really excited about that program. We are in 13 schools in the Tri-County area, and we are very excited about being a friend to every girl, and not just Girl Scouts, but anybody that wants to be a part of this program.
Yeah, and you know, guys may have their rivalries, but you know, girls can be nasty to each other.
And that's
You know?
what study shows. Study
Yeah.
shows that, you know, guys, they say what they have to say, they get over it. But girls, they really are really nasty.
Yeah.
But with Girl Scouting, we are changing statistics like that. We are teaching girls that if you are a friend first, then you won't even get there. We are a preventative program, and we believe that if we prevent it before it happens, then we won't be spending money on what we're doing right now, the world society is doing right now, and that's on crisis intervention, Sheree. By the time as they get to crisis intervention, it is too late. Put them in our program, and we'll prevent that from even happening.
It sounds as though Girl Scouts tries to take a really balanced approach to not bringing up girls because they have families, they have parents. But it seems like Girl Scouts might be a little bit mentoring, a little bit social, a little bit, world or, societal consciousness.
Yes.
And then all of that.
Yes, we are definitely an inclusive organization, very diversified. So all of that. I'm so proud to be the CEO of the Girl Scouts of Eastern South Carolina. I have the best job in the country, and I love every minute of it.
Yeah, and you have a big job though, because anytime you're kind of taking charge of young people. That's a lot of responsibility. And I think that goes to the leaders as well.
Absolutely.
The people who volunteer. I mean, I remember we had great leaders. I always had good leaders.
Absolutely.
And they liked to bake cookies, and my mother hated it. And so right there, I thought, I just love Mrs. Skillen. She bakes cookies, But they also, took us places and
there is nothing that I can say that is more humbling and impresses me more than our Girl Scout volunteers. They are truly the heartbeat of this organization. They are truly the nuts and bolts of this organization. And without them, we could not be who we are. They volunteer their time. They don't get paid for this.
No.
But they volunteer hours to work with our children. And you know as well as I know, it takes a community to work with these children. So to all of those volunteers that work with Girl Scouting and any other charitable organization, I say thank you. And 'tis the season to be giving of your time, not only this time of year, but throughout the year. Thank you so much for what you do.
Yeah. Tell me about, because we've just had a guest walk into the studio. Tell us about Women of Distinction.
Our Women of Distinction is something that we do every year with women in the community that has made an impact. Has made an impact in the community, that has made an impact on the lives of girls. We pick those women and we honor them in March. And we give them, we let them know how much we appreciate what they have done. And we have a guest here today.
Yes, we do.
A woman of distinction, Dr. Crowe. I'm going to let her do some talking, Sheree, if that's okay.
Yeah. Dr. Crowe, she's a veterinarian. She's in practice at Creekside Vet Clinic in Goose Creek. You can give an address if you like. Where are y'all located?
We're located at 431 St. James Avenue in Goose Creek.
Now, you were a scout back when I was a scout.
Yes.
You have continued kind of on the road of I don't know. You've kind of stayed with scouts over the year, where I drifted off but I have fond memories of it. But you are you one of the Women of Distinction now?
Yes, I've had the honor of being selected as one of the Women of Distinction.
Now, what does that mean exactly?
Well,
is it for your supportive scouting or your achievement now?
I believe it's a combination of the fact that I was in scouting and what scouting has led me to be responsible as far as a business owner, as a mentor to other young people, also as somebody who gives back to the community.
Yeah.
Not only am I a veterinarian, but I believe in helping others get where they need to be and pay particular attention to anyone who's younger coming up. We take on a lot of students. We also work with several of the local Girl Scout troops.
And what do you think scouting instilled in you that helps you today?
It's given me the ability to be who I am, basically. I started in Scouts as a Brownie when I was very young. My dad was in the military.
Those
We
were the
moved
days.
all the time. The one thing that I could count on no matter where we moved, I always had an instant group of friends in my next Girl Scout troop.
Mm-hmm.
The minute we got where we were going, the first thing I did was find out, where's the troop? Where's my troop?
Yeah.
Once I got in, then it was onward and upward.
Where are my next batch of friends?
It was in Scouts that I decided that I wanted to be a veterinarian in the 6th grade. That never changed. They basically gave me the skills that I needed to achieve that. As far as knowing that you have to work hard for what you get,
mm-hmm.
but you get rewards for that.
Yeah.
And you have other people around you to help you, and you help them. Working as a team, we had in our troops, we had patrols, and being a patrol leader frequently, I think it taught me leadership, and it taught me that you're not the only person in the world. You have to look around you. You have to look at other people, and everyone has to work together to get where we all want to be.
Mm-hmm. Oh, definitely, definitely. Did you know at the time? Well, you must have, I guess. Know at the time that Scouts was special to you, and did you know at the time it was laying a foundation?
At the time, I wasn't so aware in the beginning as a small child that it was laying a foundation, but I did know that it was very special.
Mm-hmm.
It was somewhere I could go and get things I could not get anywhere else. Growing up, we weren't able to afford horses. I loved horses.
No, few people actually get that pony they ask for.
Right, and I asked every year. But in Girl Scouts, I got the opportunity to not only learn how to ride, but was able to learn how to teach people how to ride, learned how to train horses, and eventually took over the equestrian program at the Girl Scout plantation at summer camp for several years in a row.
Yeah, yeah.
And with that, came a lot of other things, and it supported my application into veterinary school. It just made me a stronger all-around individual.
So Girl Scouts really, we can say it's brought you to where you are today.
Absolutely. Without Girl Scouts, I dare say I would not be a veterinarian, and I probably wouldn't be who I am and where I am today.
Isn't that fascinating? You think just a what seemed like a social type of outlet has paved the way for you taking care of animals. You're a veterinarian.
Absolutely.
You're an animal doctor.
And the whole
what did I do wrong? No, like
you
I
must
talk
have
for a
gotten
living.
you probably got out of Scouts too soon.
Maybe so. Maybe so.
I love Scouts so much that when I got into college, we're like, well, we miss it. So we started our own group in college.
Oh, that's awesome.
Called Campus Gold. And we maintained that all the way through college. And we continued to go camping and doing community service projects.
So Scouts has definitely left a mark with you that exists today. It's not just a memory of, oh yeah, well we used to camp and
no, it's part of who I am.
Yeah,
and it always will be.
That's extraordinary. Loretta, tell me about how many women of distinction are they? Is there a group and is it a contest? Is it?
Well,
are they nominated?
These women are nominated. These women are nominated by someone in the community or someone in Girl Scouting that have done, again, an outstanding job in their community. And there is a committee that look at all of these nomination forms. And there's a criteria that they go by. And the women that meet the criteria get a letter from the committee saying, we have chosen you to be a woman of distinction. You have done an outstanding job in your career, outstanding job with girls. And we would like to recognize you as a woman of distinction.
That is awesome.
So, and this committee does not take these nominations lightly.
Yeah.
They really, really look at these and have turned some people down, saying that no, they haven't met the criteria. So we were very, very honored to have Dr. Crowe as a woman of distinction.
Yeah.
She is mentoring girls. There is girls right now that's doing their Gold Award projects. On one young lady out of Mount Pleasant is doing her Gold Award project. It's called Protect Your Poo. And it is educating to protect your animal, your dogs.
Okay.
And it's educating dogs in about being in the back of a pickup. Now, how many times have we seen that?
I hate seeing a dog in the back of a pickup because a couple of times they have ended up in front of my vehicle. Thank goodness I haven't hit them, but I yell at the driver.
Yes.
Because I think, stop putting me in that situation. And your pet, and your animal as well.
Absolutely. So, that's what she's doing, her Gold Award project. And, Dr. Crowe is there to mentor our girls. She was our guest speaker at our Gold Award, our Bronze, Silver, and Gold Award recognition luncheon and speech. She did her speech on that, and she was just so down to earth with those girls. Yeah. They just consumed her after the program.
Well, because I don't quite know if this fits. Maybe I should stop now, but takes one to know one. I mean, she was where these girls are now.
Absolutely.
And it seems to me it can only breed something great.
That's correct.
Because look at Dr. Crowe.
That's absolutely right.
And she was where these girls were at one time.
That's absolutely right.
It's just interesting how, whatever goes around comes around. That is so true. Mm-hmm. And good begets good.
Yes. Speaking of Girl Scouting and just the leadership that Girl Scouting have, I mean, I talked about successful women. And, Hillary Clinton was a Girl Scout. Right now, our First Lady talks about how important it is. If you go to our web, you will see her talking about the importance of being a Girl Scout, what it teaches girls. Literally every astronaut, with the exception of one female astronaut, that has flown into space was a Girl Scout. We are truly building girls of courage, confidence, and character who we know and that we can see that's making our world a better place.
Yeah. I introduced her earlier, and we've yet to hear from her. Donna Lee is the communications manager with the Girl Scouts. You're relatively new to the organization as far as being in, wearing the uniform.
The uniform.
But what do you see with this organization?
I see an impressive group of dedicated, impressive, amazing girls that inspire me and give me goosebumps every time I'm around them. From the little daisies that are kindergartners all the way up to the older girls working on the Gold Awards. They're inspiring, and my job is just to support them and getting the word out so that everyone knows what Girl Scouts is about, what we're doing, and how we're changing the world through them.
Absolutely. Now, you're a communications person, so communicate to us when cookies go on sale.
We have
Loretta, you can help.
Yes,
I am new.
Of course, we cannot leave the show, Sheree, without talking about Girl Scout cookies.
Well, that's a big deal, and we have about a minute. A little over a minute.
Our Girl Scout cookie sale starts as soon as we get back from the holidays, January 3rd.
Okay.
And we will be having our cookie rally January the 11th.
Where's that?
And that is going to be at Mount Moriah Church on right down Rivers Avenue. It's
near Target and Walmart.
So the girls are going to have a wonderful time. Again, the 5 things that teaches, the 5 skills that cookies teach Girl Scouting is goal setting, decision making, money management, people skills, and business ethics. So don't lose your chance of getting the most wonderful cookie that you can ever have in the entire world, and that's our Girl Scout cookies.
Because people wait all year for this.
That's correct.
This is a big darn deal. And we want those Thin Mints and anything else you all have.
That's right.
Love the shortbread cookies.
Oh,
love the shortbread.
Wonderful.
I think aside from Thin Mints, I would go with shortbread. But anyway, you all have been wonderful. Thank you. We haven't visited in a while. We'll have to do it more often. Donna Lee, Loretta Graham, and Dr. Jan Crowe. Speaking for the Girl Scouts in the Low Country and in eastern South Carolina. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Sheree.